Órale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies out there. All right. I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute, and I've brought it up here and there on some of the lives, but it's starting to catch a little bit more traction. And that is this, man. Um, a lot of these PLDs, right? And, I remember a time where there wasn't many, and they weren't, they weren't called PLDs. They were pay-per-views, right? But now they're PLDs because they're on streaming apps. So um, there weren't many, but wrestling was different back then as opposed to now. Now, yeah, and not just now, for it's been like this for a while. You have a PLD pretty much every month. Now we're even cutting it even shorter than that. Now we're having a PLD like every 2 to 3 weeks, you know? Um, I look, me, myself personally, I don't like it. I can somewhat to a certain degree understand it, the way they're doing it. I hear people complaining like, hey, there's too many, especially now that you decided to bring back Saturday night's main event. Oh, yes, Saturday night's main event, I guess, is back to stay, at least for this year. And I hope it's back to stay for good, man. I like Saturday night's main event. I remember watching it when I was a little kid. And I think there's room for it if they do it properly. Again, Saturday night's main event. The reason why Saturday night's main event worked way back in the day was because you got to see matches that you wouldn't see otherwise. Wrestling is different, and it's been different. Now, SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, these suckers have some pretty damn good matches. So to add a lot of these PLDs in there, you're kind of watering down the product because now, in order to make these PLEs relevant, you're going to have to take a step back away from what you're doing on Raw and SmackDown. In my opinion, there's way too many PLEs. Now, should you just go back to the original four? For one, that's not going to happen. Obviously, there's some PLEs on here that, or on the schedule that I think should stick around, right? Like, obviously, you got the big four, right? The Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. I'm sorry, I think Elimination Chamber, I think it's here to stay. It is now part of the road to WrestleMania, especially since you're taking the route that you just recently started taking with the winner of Elimination Chamber gets the other champion, right? So the winner of the Royal Rumble, they get first dibs. They get to choose what champion they're going to go after at WrestleMania. And now they're going ahead and saying, like, okay, well, whoever wins Elimination Chamber gets the other champion. So Elimination Chamber has become part of the road to WrestleMania. So I think that's one that's here to stay. Look, I remember once upon a time, the Royal Rumble was not the road to WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble was just the Royal Rumble. That was it. You just win it, you win it. That's it. There's no title shot. There's no anything. You just win it, you win it. Hey, you won the Royal Rumble. Congratulations. Here's a pat on the back. All right, that's the winner of the Royal Rumble. What do you get out of it? Nothing. You just won it. That was it. And I think it was in 1992. Ric Flair actually became champion by winning the Royal Rumble. But nonetheless, it's been like that for quite a few years. So I think Elimination Chamber needs to stick around. I'll tell you guys this when it comes to Money in the Bank. I like Money in the Bank. In my opinion, I think it should go back to WrestleMania. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been quite a few years that Money in the Bank became its own PLE. I would actually like that match to return back to WrestleMania. I enjoyed that. And you can have surprises at WrestleMania. So, and now that WrestleMania is 2 nights, you can have the men's, one night and the women's another night. So I would like to bring back Money in the Bank to WrestleMania. Thus, it would spark excitement, especially after WrestleMania 41, where it was like, gosh, these matches, there's nothing there. But if you throw in this Money in the Bank, the ladder matches, that would bring some more excitement to WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania, damn it. Goodness gracious. So I think I'm sorry. I think Money in the Bank should be the match should be moved back to WrestleMania, especially since WrestleMania is 2 nights. Thus, you can use a lot more talent, and you can use more talent at the showcase of the Immortals at WrestleMania. Some of these other ones, I mean, look, the Saudi Arabia shows, they're here to stay as long as the Saudis are going to be paying. Clash at the Castle looks like that's here to stay. Um, which is fine. But some of these other ones, like Bad Blood, and as some of these, some of these have already retired, like Extreme Rules and things like that. We don't need these. We don't need all these PLDs, especially if you brought back Saturday night's main event, which again, I enjoy. I like that Saturday night's main event is back. I said it a while back, as long as you don't overdo it, and it looks like they're doing 4 this year, which is fine. That's perfect. But not if you're going to be having them with all these PLDs. Now there's the talk of Evolution coming back with the all women PLD, which again, that's fine. But you got to eliminate 1 or 2 of these PLDs. Don't just try to squeeze another PLD somewhere in between there. Now, the part where I'm saying I understand why all these PLDs. Okay, for one, people aren't paying pay-per-view anymore like they were once upon a time. Okay, now again, me myself personally, I want fewer PLDs than what they have now. But like I said, I do somewhat understand it, and this is how I somewhat understand it, even though I don't agree with it. I do somewhat understand it, and here's why. Here's how. Like I said, for one, people aren't uh, paying pay-per-view. If you were, good gosh, man, son of a gun, it wouldn't be sustainable. But two, PLDs have gone to 5 matches per PLE. So you're not getting the same superstars in every single PLE. You're getting different storylines. So Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown are building up storylines with different superstars. And when you get to one PLE, not all of those storylines are going into that PLE. Only 5 matches are. So if you had some storyline going on with Jey Uso, you had another storyline going on with Cody Rhodes, another storyline going on with, the tribal chief. You're not going to get all those storylines at one PLE. You might get Jey Uso in one PLE. Then in the next one, you're going to get, the tribal chief and Cody Rhodes. And then on the next PLD, you're going to get, another storyline with whomever, AJ Styles or whatever it may be. So I do somewhat understand the thought process behind it, where it's like, hey, there's room for all these PLEs because you're not getting all the same superstars on every single PLE. Not all the storylines are being told on every single PLE. We're only having 5 matches. And again, I'm telling you guys, I know some people don't like it. Me personally, I like that there's only 5 matches. I do, man. I'm enjoying the matches. The matches have been great. I think the PLE moves along pretty dang smoothly. So I actually like it. All that being said, since you brought back Saturday night's main event, I still think there's room to cut a couple of PLEs off. And if you're bringing back Evolution, which is all women, I think there's even more of a reason to cut a few PLEs. You're bringing back Night of Champions, which is fine. Every champion is supposed to be defended. This isn't the first time they do Night of Champions, but every champion is supposed to be defended at Night of Champions. Don't just add PLEs just to add them. There's room to go ahead and cut some of these PLEs out. If you bring back Saturday night's main event, which you did, and I understand that Saturday night's main event is not on an app, it's actually on television with the commercials, just the way Friday Night SmackDown is. But it's on Saturday, and there's the whole nostalgia to it. You want to make these big, which is fine. But that's more of a reason to cut back on some of these PLDs, man. You're really watering these suckers down. I understand the thought process and the explanation that was given. Like, you're not getting all the same stories and all the same superstars on every PLD. I understand that part. So when people say, like, oh man, that only gives you 2 weeks to build up to the next PLD, well, sort of, because you're not starting over. You're not starting over from a storyline that was from the previous PLD. No, as we go into the next PLD, we're going into a storyline that was already being built up 3-4 weeks ago. They just didn't happen to be on the PLD that just passed. So I do understand the thought process. All that being said, too many PLDs, man. Too many. I like the fact that Saturday night's main event is back. And in reality, Saturday night's main event is probably just like a Monday Night Raw version on Saturday. It's a Friday Night SmackDown on Saturday. So once upon a time, PLDs were huge, or pay-per-views, I should say, were huge, because all you really had were superstars squashing jobbers. And Saturday night's main event, you would have, matches that you wouldn't see otherwise. But now you got SmackDown, now you got Raw, and these shows are pretty good. Now you throw in all these PLDs. You're throwing a PLD every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks. You're really watering it down, even though it may not be the same storylines on every PLD. Good gosh. Let's slow that sucker down. Let's cut some of these babies off. I would like Money in the Bank to go back to WrestleMania. You could start there. No need for bad blood. Backlash, I mean, there's no need for Backlash anymore either. Once upon a time, they even, played around with it being called WrestleMania Backlash. Like, it's supposed to be, right after WrestleMania. Like, oh man, a lot of it before, it was a lot of rematches from WrestleMania. But since you're on these 5-card PLDs, okay, no need for Backlash anymore. But you guys let me know, man. What's your guys' thoughts on all these PLDs? You guys for it? You guys against it? I'm hearing a lot of bad things about it. Like I said, I understand it, but we still got to cut some of these PLDs off. It is, man. It's just watering it down. But you guys let me know. Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab, Sean, all the junkies. Catch you guys on next one.